Hey, good morning everyone, TJ here. Today we're out at Keystone testing the Nidecker Alpha APX in collaboration with Snowboard Mag. Let's get into it. All right, real quick for reference, before I jump into the tech in this snowboard, I'm 5'10", I weigh around 155 pounds, and we're riding the Alpha APX in size 153 today. And this is gonna be Nidecker's flagship all-mountain snowboard with their premium construction. That's what the APX denotes. And it is a directional snowboard, so you're gonna find a directional outline in this one, so you have a little bit more nose up front to give you more surface area for softer snow conditions, as well as a 15mm setback, so the inserts are shifted a little bit closer to the tail, and a minimal taper. I believe the 153 has 2mm of taper, so the tail is just a little bit narrower than the nose, reducing the surface area in the back of the snowboard a little bit. It does run a camber dominant profile. It runs Nidecker's Surfy Camrock profile, so pretty much through the whole main body of the snowboard, from the front foot almost all the way back out to the tail, you're gonna find positive camber, and it has a pretty significant high camber to it. So this thing's gonna have a very energetic feel. It does have a rocker shape in the nose to offer a little bit smoother turn initiation, as well as offer more float on those deeper days, and a rocker release in the tail, just a tiny rocker release again to just help it out in soft snow. Other than that, you're also gonna find their Pop Carbon Plus construction. So this thing has twice the carbon built into it versus the regular Alpha. It has carbon stringers running from tip to tail down the entire length of the snowboard, both on the top side and the bottom side of the core. It's gonna give this board more energy, more snap, more pop, while helping to keep it nice and lightweight. And that's actually one of the big standouts. As soon as you pick this board up, you'll notice that it is noticeably lightweight, and it's built with Nidecker's lightest core material. So that's a nice bonus here on the APX version of the Alpha. There's a few more things still worth noting. You're gonna find their evolution tip, is what they call it, in the nose of the snowboard, which is actually like a 3D spoon shape in the tip of the board. That's gonna work with that reverse camber in the nose to really ensure smooth turn initiation, make this thing very easy to get on edge, and almost give like a rolling rocking sensation as you're transitioning from that heel edge to your toe edge. Also has their dropout tail. So there's like a notch in the tail of the snowboard outside the contact points. Another slight benefit for softer snow conditions to reduce the surface area in the back of the snowboard even further. You're also gonna find their absorbed top sheet, is what they call it. So the top sheet on this snowboard actually offers a bit of a dampening benefit to help minimize chatter and reduce vibrations in the snowboard as you're out there cruising and carving around, or maybe hitting some more variable conditions. And it also runs their N9000 sintered base, which is going to be a more durable, faster base material. You want to make sure to wax it regularly to maintain a nice, fast feel out here. But that's definitely something that would be expected in a higher end snowboard, and it's good to see in this one. And the last thing I want to mention is that this thing is constructed with their most premium construction. Like I mentioned before, they call it their Nidactive construction. Has a little bit more carbon built into the layup, and also changes the way that the core transitions into the sidewall over the edge of the snowboard to help drive a little bit more power into those edges as you're out there carving. So we'll see if we notice that out there as well. But that's gonna be it for a quick tech breakdown here on the Alpha APX. We're gonna get these laps going. We'll check back in later in the day. All right guys, it's been a really fun day out here at Keystone. This is such a fun resort to explore with a wide variety of terrains. We had a really good time out here on the Alpha APX, and I'm gonna just kind of run through my opinion on how this board's gonna feel out there for you. So I like to start off talking about the flex, and I'd say that this board is definitely on the stiffer side of medium, getting quite stiff, especially considering I was riding the 153. This board's gonna come through with a lot of stability and a lot of precision. So this is a board that you can take up to those higher speeds, maybe hit some larger features, and it's gonna have your back. It's not gonna be a board that you find is lacking in stability, even with the reverse camber built into the profile. This thing is gonna feel solid under your feet. And kind of going right along with that, like I mentioned before, there is quite a bit of camber built into the profile. Like it's a pretty tall camber, and this board is very energetic. That was a huge standout for me with this one. Whether you're trying to just snap an ollie off the tail, off a roller into a butter trick, it kind of almost feels like a spring-like feel to it. Any tension you're able to load up into it, it really does give back, helps get you in the air, and just has that really nice, lively, energetic feel, both for doing freestyle stuff, but in your carving as well. And I'm a big fan of feeling out flat ground type maneuvers during the board tests as well. Out here at Keystone, especially on the mellower trails, there's some flatter sections that are fun for trying that stuff. And I would say the Alpha APX isn't buttery in the traditional sense, but is pretty fun for flat ground type tricks, especially leaning into the nose of the snowboard where you have that 3D bevel going on. I think that was an area where that was very noticeable and really allowed you to trust it and confidently lean into the nose, fighting that camber, fighting that stiffer flex, but know that you're not gonna catch or have a hooky feel to it. So you can really swivel around, trust the board, have a good time messing around with that kind of stuff. The tail isn't going to be as buttery. You have a pretty powerful tail in the snowboard and you don't have that 3D bevel, but since it is a little bit shorter, it doesn't really get in the way either. So not going to be buttery in the traditional sense like you'd find in a softer twin snowboard, but can still be fun for trying that kind of stuff around the mountain. We did hit a few laps through the park out here at Keystone as well, down through I-70 where they have it set up this year. And I just want to preface this by saying this board is definitely more geared towards hunting down natural features and trying to get creative with a more freestyle approach just around the resort, but can definitely still be a good time in a proper terrain park as well. Personally, not the biggest fan of the setup they had out here at Spring Break right now in Colorado. And it's just a little bit different than what I'm used to. It's my first real day hitting the park out here, so I apologize for not going too hard in there. But I will say with the stiffness you're gonna get in this snowboard, I'd say it's a little bit more jump leaning. It's got this ability to step up to larger features, hit bigger gaps, send the large line, and it's gonna have your back. Even if you land a little bit back seat, you definitely need to be a little bit more careful with the directionality in this snowboard since it does have that shorter tail. You don't have as much back there to keep you on your feet, but stability wise, it's not going to let you down. And you can have fun on the jibs as well. There was a bunch of tubes and rails we were hitting out here, just doing some mellow tricks. You know, it is a stiffer board, so it's not going to be something that is going to make it easy to do more techie stuff like presses and combos and spins out. But you know, if you do want to take some novelty park laps on this directional stick, I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, go ahead, head in there, have a good time. Just watch out for that more directional nose. Be aware that it is a stiffer snowboard, so it has a bit of a different feel and might change your approach to the features, but definitely a fun one for taking a more freestyle approach around the resort or even in the terrain park as well. I also want to talk about the carving experience you're going to find here in the Alpha APX, and I would just summarize it at a high level as powerful and locked in. This board is a really fun carving board. It's a great choice for exploring the groomers and even like pushing it, getting up to those higher speeds and just trying to progress those carves. I think that directional shape with the heavy camber, that setback, the slight taper, all that works together to really elevate the carving experience and allow you to just push the board and push the limits of your carving. It has a pretty average side cut. So at a 153, you're gonna find a 7.4 meter side cut. Feels comfortable at low speeds, but still feels good as you start to push it and get it up to those higher speeds as well. And it's gonna come through with those more nimble, energetic feeling carves. That camber comes through as you're transitioning from edge to edge. You can feel it almost like springing you into your next turn, which is a lot of fun. And it is a little bit narrow though. I would say that's probably going to be the limiting factor for you with this one for carving. The 153 has a 25.2 centimeter waist width. So if you do want to focus on those deeper carves, you're digging deeper trenches, might be a little bit limiting on that. I did catch my toes a couple of times on this thing, but generally speaking, I would say this is a very strong carving snowboard. It doesn't get pushed around. If you find yourself trying to carve through choppier conditions, more like at the end of the day, or if it's later in the season and you're going through slushy snow that really pushes back more, you can know this board's gonna confidently power through that and just come through with that real locked in edge hold. It's not gonna get pushed around. and it's a board that you can trust even at higher speeds. That edge is gonna stay locked in for you. So that was definitely a big highlight for me here with the Alpha APX today. And you know, this board is designed as Nidecker's flagship all mountain snowboard, designed to explore the resort in any condition. And I think it hits that target really well. So if you're looking for something that's gonna come through with a very energetic camber feel, is a really fun carver with locked in edge hold, and can still kind of have a good time exploring with a more freestyle mindset, has some tech built into it to help you out in powder as well. If you want that all mountain versatility, check out the Alpha APX. We had a good time out here today. I'm gonna have this snowboard linked down in the description below this video, as well as a link to the latest issue of Snowboard magazine. So please make sure to go check that out. Leave any questions you have for us down in the comments. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching today. Don't forget to leave a like before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in a new review next time. Take care, everybody.